Hi, Jennifer with Mindful Movement, Mindful Living, and I am here today with a quick, easy, and healthy recipe for you. How's that? This recipe, for all those reasons, is one of my core recipes. I make this almost every week, actually. It's really nice, it's versatile. You can kind of play with the ingredients based on what you have on hand. You don't have to, the ingredients aren't so set in stone, so it's flexible that way, which is really nice. And it's also something you can have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I usually make it for lunch or dinner, but it works well because the basis is eggs. So I'm making today a Mediterranean Veggie Scramble, and it's really easy. So basically, I have here, to start, I have a half a dozen eggs. I already scrambled them. I don't add any milk to my scrambled eggs. I feel that you may feel differently, but I think it works well without the milk, but I know some of you may want milk, so of course, go for it if that's your thing. So I just put just 6 eggs in here. So I'm making enough to serve, obviously, my family. So I put in, so I don't put milk in my eggs, but I do often put just a little bit of turmeric in there. Just a little bit. So I'd say that is about a half a tablespoon or so. It makes them really nice and bright yellow, so it looks really pretty, and of course it's just has a nice extra little health boost to it when you put the turmeric in there. So I'm just mixing that, and then from here I'm just gonna I have a cast iron pan, so or skillet, I'm just gonna put those in. So I'm gonna get the eggs going. I don't like to cook my eggs on a really high heat because I just think it works really well if you keep the heat a little bit lower, so just like a low to medium heat here. So keep them going. So I'm just keeping them moving a little bit as they cook. So I love, this is great. I mean, we always have eggs on hand at our house. We actually have a farm really close by that has eggs, so it's nice. So I always just kind of pop in. So we always have them on hand, and of course the grocery store has them. I always have those on hand. And then right here, so they're starting to cook. So once the eggs start to cook up, then you're just gonna add in basically a bunch of vegetables. So I always add some sort of fresh green. So right now I think this is like a spinach and a couple types of like lettuce that I have on hand. So those are gonna go in next. Let me just let these eggs cook up a little bit more. So going in next is going to be just these greens that I'm going to wilt down just right in the egg. So everything also is in one skillet. So there's not a lot of dishes. It's a really nice one. If you have a bunch of leftover vegetables or like produce that you need to sort of cook up or eat somehow, this is a nice way to eat a lot of produce, or use that up without wasting it. So or especially if you only have like a little bit of leftover, this is a nice one because it will make a whole other meal. So these are just about done. So I'm gonna put the eggs in. So the eggs are in there. I'm gonna put the greens in. So I am just waiting. So basically now the eggs are just starting to firm up here, which is perfect. So now I'm gonna add the greens, and I'm just gonna wilt these right in the same skillet, which is nice. So in they go. And as you know, probably greens wilt pretty quickly. And they really wilt down to maybe like half or a third of the volume that they were. They probably look like a ton in there, but when you wilt it down, it's not that much. So this is nice. I love wilted greens in so many different ways. I make them a lot. So as these are wilting down and my eggs are firming up, I'm going to add, so now this is where like also leftovers come in. So you could just do that. You could just use your wilted leftover fresh greens. Or I also have some leftover, and I almost always do. I feel like I end up with this odd amount of vegetables all the time after I'm cooking. Or maybe this is actually a dish I made for lunch yesterday, and this was the amount left over, just like this sort of small amount, not enough to really make another meal. But this is just a mix of eggplant, zucchini, bell peppers, and mushrooms. So this was part of yesterday's lunch, and I have this just sort of like, not even a cup of this probably left. So here's my leftovers from yesterday's lunch. So these are perfect because they're just gonna go right in here, and now they're making a meal. So if you have leftovers and you're not sure what to do, especially when it's that weird amount where it's not enough for a whole other meal, put it in your scramble. So here we go. So these are going, and those are already cooked. That's why I saved these for the end. They don't really need to be cooked again. They just need to kind of warm up and incorporate into the rest of the dish. It looks so pretty though. There's so many colors in here. It's always, I always try to have, anyway, just a bunch of veggies on hand, you know, fresh veggies or chopped veggies, and then, you know, some that I've either roasted or steamed or sauteed. So I always have sort of a blend of some cooked veggies and some raw veggies on hand. This is nice too. I do try, generally every week I do set a menu for the week, but things come up. You know, suddenly someone has an extra sports practice, or someone's work schedule changes or something. So this is nice because even if you have the best laid plans, sometimes things come up and you need to kind of have a plan B. This is a great plan B meal. If you just keep eggs and some veggies in your fridge, you're good to go. And you can make this is a Mediterranean one because I had all those Mediterranean vegetables, which I often do have because they're just my favorite. So I often have those on hand, but of course this works with any of your favorite vegetables or whatever you have on hand. There we go. And we're done. So the last thing I do, now that it's done, I'm just gonna turn the heat off. And I just have it, you could top it with a little bit of cheese or something if you like. I like to top it with some fresh herbs, so I always have just a little kitchen container with some fresh herbs. So I happen to have basil, which I often do because I love it. And it goes nicely with the vegetables, the Mediterranean veggies in this skillet. So I'm just gonna flex them up. I do have herb shears, which make a nice little cute strips, but often, especially if this is your plan B and it's a busy day, I just break it up with my hands. I think it also looks nice. It tastes great, and it does the trick. So I'm just gonna put these on top. It smells so good. I love basil. It smells awesome. So there we go. So Mediterranean veggie skillet. It did not take a lot of time. It only took one dish, which is great. Really versatile, really easy. Makes a great leftover as well. And then you're good to go. So I hope this was helpful for you. Hopefully you give this a try. It's really good. And enjoy. Thank you so much.